What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the PLL weekly recap. My name is Steve Strings, and today we're going over week 7, game 1, Outlaws, Waterdogs. So the PLL returns after taking a break last week for the All-Star weekend. Now, I unfortunately did not really get to watch the All-Star game or any of the events from the weekend. I did see clips online on Instagram and all of that. It seemed fun, seemed like a good time, but we are back with the real games. You guys will remember the last video I made was about the Outlaws' blowout loss to the New York Atlas. They were absolutely awful in that game, offensively and defensively. Hopefully, this time around, they can get Brennan O'Neil more involved in their offense, get him more than that abysmal 8 touches he had in their last game. Thank God he's actually starting at attack this time, his natural position. Hopefully, he can get something going. The Outlaws also re-signed Eric Law, who when they were in the MLL, he helped them win quite a few championships. I think this is a great ad for them, and he fits their offense really well. The Waterdogs also are coming off of a loss last week. In their game, they looked really good in the first half, but then took their foot off the gas during the second half, allowing the balls and cannons to come back. I hate to blame the goalie, but I do feel like Dillon could have played a little bit better in their last game. This week, everyone in the PLL is rocking these brand new super fresh throwback jerseys. Drop a comment and let me know if you want me to make a video reacting to all these individually. I liked most of them. Even the refs were in their throwback gear. And that's about all I got as far as the pregame notes though. Let's hop right into the action from this week. So the very first highlight of this game comes to us just 10 seconds after the opening face-off. Zach Currier picks up the ground ball and the Outlaws player comes and almost decapitates him with this wrap check slash, I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but definitely that's a clear foul. They got called for it. They did end up doing well on killing that man up play. Connor Kelly and the Waterdogs get us started as far as the scoring goes in this game. He drives down the left wing. You could tell once he got the GLE, he was completely committed to scoring. There is nothing you were going to do to stop this guy from taking a shot here. He is playing in his hometown of Fairfield, Connecticut today, which I'm sure gave him a little extra motivation. Puts the stick in his left hand. He grinds a little kind of fake rocker step there, making the defender think he's going to pull it back out, and he dives in front of the net. Really nice little crease dive there. Eric Law answers back for the Outlaws, backing his first goal back with his old squad. This is super typical Eric Law here, just sitting on the crease, waits for his fellow attackman to beat the man, draw a slide. He finds himself in open space and puts this one away with a pretty quick stick. The Outlaws are playing noticeably better than they have the last few weeks, but they are still somewhat holding themselves back and killing themselves with these unforced turnovers. They need to clean things up if they have any chance of winning this game. I mean, this is just grade school stuff. There's not a man on his hands. O'Neil's pretty much standing still. You just got to make a much better pass than that. With under a minute left in the first quarter, the Outlaws find themselves transitioning to offense. Long pole finds Ryan Tarafanko, who lets a heater go. That one, the Outlaws are celebrating it like it's a goal. The Waterdogs keep playing. There's no whistle. I think that's Ben Randell. He walks this thing all the way up the field, finds space down the middle lane, and he gets a long pole goal on that play. Now, definitely a lot of controversy on that play. First of all, the Outlaws argue that actually was a goal on the initial shot from Ryan Tarafanko in a very similar manner to one last week that the Atlas scored, where it hits that bottom metal bar inside the goal and then bounced out. At first, I thought this was a goal, and after watching the replays, the referee agrees with me. They ruled this one a goal. Now they have to figure out, is it a two-pointer? His foot was really close to the line. Yes, it is a two-pointer, so that one stings for the Waterdogs. They go from being up a goal to having their goal negated and going down 2. That's gotta suck. That must have fired up Philadelphia a little bit though, because their stars connect on a beautiful play here. Zach Currier throws it to Sowers, BTB to Kieran McArdle, who finishes it real clean on the doorstep. Talk about just putting the ball in the sticks of your best players and letting them go for it. This one's awesome. I mean, Currier doesn't do anything too special. That pass from Sowers is amazing though, and a great finish from Kieran McArdle, doing what he does best. I gotta say, he's probably one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. I am happy to report that in this game, Brennan O'Neil is getting his touches. They are getting him the ball. He's putting in some good work, but just hasn't been able to really find the back of the net so far in this game. He's getting good looks like this one, but his shots just are not landing. Now, a really awesome feel-good moment on this play. Mike Schlosser, who's a definite fan favorite, hasn't seen the field for 2 years after suffering back-to-back injuries last season and the one before that. And you could tell that he was not going to let this opportunity go after being on the sidelines for almost 2 years. He's driving down the right alley, gets the GLE, fights his way all the way back, eats a little bit of contact, and gets a goal on this play. You could really see how much that meant to him and the team with that celebration. But yeah, man, you can tell when a player just really wants a goal. like that Connor Kelly one earlier, and now this one from Mikie Schlosser, when it kind of seems like, you know, they ran out of their dodge, they went too far down the alley, but they still keep fighting, and they get that one in the net. That one fired me up. Having him and Jack Hanna back from injury is a major upgrade for the Waterdogs. Not that their midfield was bad before, but obviously every team would love to have that extra depth. It gives them a whole nother layer and a whole different dynamic on offense. O'Neil keeps trying to get a goal here. He's putting in some good work. I mean, look at this shot. He wants this so bad. That was nasty. The toe drag into the running twister. Usually you only see a twister when you're right in front of the crease. This one, he was still pretty close. More of a mid-range shot though. Wow, insane take from him. He's playing better, but I still think the overall offensive scheme for the Outlaws sucks. Look at this stuff, man. I mean, he's triple teamed, then he decides to throw a twister. That's nasty. Super unfortunate play from Dillon Ward here. He makes the first save from the doorstep, rebound goes to the player, second save, and then he just jumbles the ball, loses it in his stick, and throws it into his own net pretty much. You absolutely hate to see it, especially after a really great double save initially, and then just super unlucky, man. Gotta feel bad for Dillon Ward, the keeper there. Connor Kelly closes out the scoring in the first half with this beautiful but also fundamental take right here. He splits left, rolls back to his right, and right off that little spin, he lets it go. Perfectly planted into the top corner. That one had some heat on it. That one had some great accuracy too. These guys in the PLL are so good that even when it is a pretty fundamental play and shot like this, it still just looks incredible. That's almost as top corner as it gets. At the end of the first half, the Waterdogs are leading the Outlaws by 2 goals. The score is 5-7. The Outlaws are still struggling to really get anything going. They've scored a couple decent goals, a couple weird ones like that Dillon Ward own goal I showed you a second ago. They do look better from last week though. The Waterdogs feel like they could run away with this game at any moment if they can just get that last piece to click, but they are playing pretty good overall. Now, for this third quarter, I have to go quick because there was a lot that happened in this quarter. Brennan O'Neil finally gets a goal this game after having some pretty good looks all throughout this one already, but he gets the ball in his favorite spot, that high wing. He drives, puts the stick in his right hand, back to the left for the finish. Good goal by him. Really great to see Brennan O'Neil finally kind of getting going a little bit. I love this graphic they put up on the screen. Kind of looks like an NBA shot chart. PLL, where can I find this data for myself? I would love to dig into something like that. So after some transition, Mike Manley finds himself up on the offensive side of the field with his long pole. He doesn't really look like he knows what he's doing, but then he also almost gets decapitated like that play from earlier in the game. The Waterdogs giving it back to the Outlaws on this instance. On the ensuing man up, the Outlaws swing the ball to Graham Bundy, who lets some heat go on this one. You are not saving that. Dillon Ward's a great goalie, doesn't matter. No shot getting to that one. He uses the defender as a little bit of a screen, hides the ball a little bit. You can't see it release initially. An interesting stat, the Outlaws are one of the worst teams in the league, obviously, but they do have quite the efficient man-up unit. The Outlaws are on a little bit of a run here now. Brennan O'Neil dodges from X, and somehow he's maybe a step above GLE, not even really looking at the net. Gives no indication he's about to shoot this thing. He just sneaks it in. This shot actually went in off of hitting Dillon Ward's foot. If Dillon Ward didn't touch this, that was probably just going wide. But Brennan O'Neil, I don't know if this was on purpose. It looked like it was, but he shoots it off his ankle pretty much, and that deflects into the net. Real crafty finish by him. Thank God O'Neil's getting more touches because he is really exciting to watch. Jack Hanna takes an underhand shot here, but look in the background. He almost kills that kid. The ball goes through the protective netting somehow, and the kid doesn't even realize he's just kind of pumped up to grab the ball. But that could have been bad, honestly. If that was maybe like a second later, that ball is going right into that little kid's head. Thank God he's okay. On this play, there's a little bit of ground ball scrum. Eric Law shows that vet instinct. He gooses it to his teammate, who passes it up from X to the top of the arc. Graham Bundy! Another hammer. This time it's underhand from right at the top of the 2-point arc. This one actually was ruled a 1 because he had his foot on the line, but that doesn't take anything away from this shot. That one was super clean. Almost kind of like a slow wind up, but there's nothing you can do about that. So much speed on that shot. Absolute bomb. The Waterdogs end the run by the Outlaws with this really slick play here. The attackman backhand passes it to Matt Brandow, who has a nice quick stick finish on the crease. Now this play was actually an insane buzzer beater. I'm going to show you the angle that they showed on the broadcast here, because this ball, this has to be the smallest margin of error I've ever seen on a buzzer beater, maybe any sport. On the camera angle, it was literally just 1 frame. The ball was out of his stick for 1 frame before the clock struck 0. Insane from the Waterdogs there. Great timing from them. I cannot believe how close that was. A few seconds later, Currier picks up this ball, one-handed diving from behind X sneaks this one into high next to the goalie's ear. This is an incredible play. They call this an air gate on the broadcast. I don't really think this is an air gate. This is just a really slick crease dive and a really slick finish. Wow, Zach Currier, amazing play there. That should be worth like 2 or 3 points, honestly. If you want to give style points to that thing, it gets all the style points. He sees that the goalie's kind of off his line here, hugging the other pipe. He's able to run around the entire crease and one-handed with his offhand lays out and gets rewarded for it. Last play of this exciting third quarter. First of all, how is this not a moving screen? I mean, look at my man. He's just sitting there like this, trying to get into a good position for that screen. Definitely moving screen. Wasn't called, but Bundy again! Another underhander, another nuke, absolute missile, top corner. This guy might have the best shot in the league, maybe besides Mike Chanachuk. But if you're just talking about pure power and pure speed from a short stick, obviously Jared Newman has the fastest shot, but he's a long pole. But from a short stick, Graham Bundy has a nuke in his arm. Good vision from O'Neil to find him on that one. So heading into the fourth quarter, this is a really good game so far, which I didn't really expect. And the Outlaws looked incredible in that third quarter. Probably the best single quarter they've had this season so far as a team. They're up by 3 on the Waterdogs. The score is 10-13. This game had a lot of long-range shots. Zach Currier answers the Graham Bundy 2-pointers with a 2-point shot of his own. That brings it to be a 1-goal game. Some great defensive effort here by Christian Scarpello, who's able to read this pass by the Outlaws perfectly, like a great free safety or cornerback in football. Picks this thing off, pushes transition running down the field. They don't really get much from this, unfortunately, but you love to see it from the D-Midi there. Crazy little play here from the Outlaws. They work some great transition with their LSM, Jake Paisino here. They have some amazing ball movement, but look at this pass right here. This ball actually gets tipped mid-air, which makes it really hard for the Outlaws player to catch it. He doesn't waste any time, moves it to Eric Law, who just can't get that quick stick finish on the crease. Great closeout from the Waterdogs defender on that one. This isn't really a typical highlight, but I found something very interesting in this clip here. Graham Bundy actually completely exposes himself. The Outlaws get a shot clock violation, so obviously the player with the ball just has to drop it right there, which Graham Bundy goes to do. But look at this. He goes to drop it, and the ball doesn't really come out of his stick initially. Now, to most people, you wouldn't really notice that, but that actually is a stick violation. The referees, I guess, didn't see it, or maybe aren't allowed to call this since it wasn't like a formal stick check, but everyone knows the stick check rules. If you turn your stick upside down and the ball doesn't immediately just drop like it should and it sticks in that pocket, that's illegal. He's got an illegal stick he's playing with here. I caught that, so sorry for exposing you, Graham Bundy, but fix your stick. Hey, maybe send it to Thief Strings. I can get you with a beautiful, amazing stick that's actually legal too. But yeah, honestly, that 100% should have been a violation. The Waterdogs tried their best to come back on this one, but the Outlaws end up winning this game, which is great for them because they really needed this one. I feel like this is a really strange year for the Philadelphia Waterdogs. They have great talent. I feel like they play pretty good every week, but they are 1-5, I believe, at this point. Not really with many wins to show for their great play from them as a team and from their individuals. The Outlaws look so much better today. They haven't fully unlocked Brennan O'Neil yet, but he is playing a lot better, which is definitely a big key to their success today. So some of the notable performances from today: Michael Sowers, as usual, had a really good game. He's super consistent. 3 goals, 2 assists from him. Connor Kelly in his hometown, he had 2 goals, one of them being a 2-pointer and an assist. The midfielders, Jake Witcher and Christian Scarpello, played a great game in my opinion. On the Outlaw side of things, Dalton Young had 3 goals and 2 assists. Bundy had 2 2-pointers and one that really was pretty much a 2-pointer, but his toe was on the line. He was throwing absolute gas that game. It was crazy. Brennan O'Neil, 3 goals, 1 assist. Awesome. Really happy to see he's back, playing the way we know that he can. Eric Law in his first game back had 2 goals. The defender Mike Manley, 2 cross turnovers, 4 ground balls. And last but not least, McElroy played a great game in net with a 60% save percentage. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. That's really all I have to say on this game here. Pretty good, really exciting one. I can't wait to review some of the other games from this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to drop a like and a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of this game and O'Neil's performance. Also, if you are enjoying the content, we're posting a bunch of videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, so make sure you follow me on there and watch some of those videos as well. The last video we put out was my most viewed video yet, so I can't wait to keep that momentum going, and I hope you guys like this one just as much as well. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a good one.